Welcome back MEFB 2132013 manufacturing processes class. Okay, let's look at the last topic here, operator machine systems. So, operator machine systems is a topic that has always been neglected by employers, especially in Malaysia. Okay, so in most industries we see that a lot of employers are very um, focused on production based, revenue based, but very less focus is given to workers or worker based. So this topic is basically highlighting the importance of focusing on the workers health issues so that their productivity of the company will sustain. Yeah, so with safety practices and ergonomically designed systems, problems such as high absence because of sickness, unnecessary disruptions, and rejects can be resolved. So, the tools and workstations must be designed in such a way to avoid strain to the operator. So, basically, if you look at the industry, where there are three different types of workers, yeah. So, we call it the interaction between the operator and machine takes place in three levels of activities. First is the skill-based activities. Skill-based activities are activities that are carried out subconsciously and automatically by a natural sensory motor subroutines. Yeah, so skill-based people are people who are joined newly. Okay, especially if you go to the industries, the machine operators. So initially they start off with rule-based, then they become skill-based. Skill-based are people who have been doing the same task on the same machine repetitively, day in, day out for the past couple of months, that they have probably um, they have probably memorized the sequence of work, so they can actually do it, do the task, or operate the machine without even thinking. Yeah, so the workers can probably operate the machine without even thinking because they're so used to that sequence of movements, the buttons that they press, and the way they operate the machine. So that is basically skill based. So once a person has been doing the same task over and over again repetitively, they are able to memorize the sequence and they become skill based. Rule based are the initial workers who go in, and they have no idea of conducting a particular task. Yeah, so they have to go for training. So even people like you, when you start your job, you go in for the very first time, you probably are going to do something new, even though whatever you've studied, yeah, great, but when it comes to industry or application, it's going to be a different ball game altogether, because you need to learn the job or task to suit the company that you are going to work with. So obviously they will send you for training, and then you'll be given a set of instructions or procedures of how to conduct the task. So these are the set of rules that have been given to you at the beginning of the job. So you start to follow it step by step. Okay, follow the rules. Okay, I should do this, I shouldn't do that. Okay, this is how I operate um, Katia, Katia software. This is how I operate a MATLAB software step by step. So you learn things in procedure step by step. And when you keep doing this same task or procedure every day, day in, day out, then you become a expert. Okay, you will become an expert, and you will be very, very well versed. You'll be very, very well versed with whatever that task that you are doing. Okay, so rule-based activities are activities that are carried out by the operator after he recalls the rules of controlling the machine. These rules are led through training and by experience. Then you have knowledge-based activities. Knowledge-based activities are based on problem solving and planning. No rules. So this comes through experience. Yeah. So normally this knowledge-based activities are more relevant to people of your level, yeah, engineers and higher, because when you join in as an engineer, you have your technical knowledge, but you do not have the skill. So over time, as you keep doing the job with your technical knowledge, you start to acquire your skills. And as you go after a certain couple of years of exposure to the job, to the environment, to the clients, to the job style, then you start to um, pick up the style of working. Yeah, so having equipped with your technical knowledge and the style of working practice in that particular industry, you start to become knowledge based. So you basically know the ins and outs of that industry, and you're able to solve the problem. Okay, so ergonomics is the study of interaction between the workers and the process at the workplace. Ergonomics helps the operator work most efficiently. So example, ergonomically designed tool is one that allows people to do their appointed task in the most efficient way. The tool can be designed to avoid exposing the operator to physical load, noise, vibration, and dust. Okay, so we have um, several concepts under ergonomics. Okay, so if you look back, ergonomics is basically interaction between the worker and the process at the workplace. So for example, if the process at the workplace is not performed correctly or accurately, therefore the worker would suffer from something called a musculoskeletal disorder. So it's just doing things the right way. Yeah, so when you need to lift an object, you need to bend 90 degrees. That means you go down 90 degrees. Okay, so here, okay, so you go down 90 degrees, or your body has to be 90 degrees perpendicular to the floor as you lift the object. Yeah, and when you don't do it that way, okay, you just slouch your body forward and try to lift the object, then and you keep doing that repetitively over time, you would end up suffering from something called a cumulative for something called a musculoskeletal disorder. So this, if you look at the diagram over here, yeah, so you need to bend down, make a 90 degree with the, so you're making a 90 degree with the flat surface, and then you lift up your object. So this is, you're not straining your back as compared to this way. When you slouch, okay, you are going to strain your back. You don't realize it on the first day, on the second day, but after 3 months you would start suffering from musculoskeletal disorders, which could be due to the damage of your ligaments, tendons, your body tissues in your back. Okay, so what is musculoskeletal disorder? Yeah, so here if you look at it, musculoskeletal, skeletal, human skeletal system. Okay, and when the person starts to suffer from aches and pains in every part of the body, neck, back, hip, knee, okay, shoulder, elbow, okay, every part of the body has an issue. Because if you see, we have our main backbone and all the nerves connecting each body part. Yeah, so when the backbone is injured, the nerves are also going to convey the wrong message from the injured backbone to the different parts of the body. So it's a chain reaction. So when the person starts with the neck pain, the same nerves are then going to transfer information to the brain, transfer information to the leg, to the hand, and slowly it will develop into a series of illnesses. So from the back pain, from the neck pain, it will become back pain, and then it will progress to the arms, okay, hand pain. It will progress to the hip pain. It will progress to the legs, leg pain, progress to the knees, and so on, until the whole body starts to have inflammation, okay, and issues. So we call this a musculoskeletal disorder. So if you look at the definition given by the Canadian Center for Occupational Health and Safety, musculoskeletal disorders are painful disorders of muscles, tendons, and nerves that develop over time from the task that repeatedly cause stress and injury to the tissues. So you won't realize it, yeah, when you keep doing something wrongly. Like I showed you the example earlier, yeah, you're lifting an object wrongly. So your lifting posture is wrong when you keep doing it over and over and over again over 3 months, 6 months. The built up strain will injure your body tissues, and then the person starts suffering from musculoskeletal disorder. So very common causes are material handling, okay, workstation, the furniture layout, the job design. So musculoskeletal disorder does not necessarily only happen when you're lifting heavy objects. It can also happen in office environments when the chair that you sit, if you're an office worker, the chair is not ergonomically designed. It's hard and it doesn't support your back. So eventually, after sitting in on the chair for hours a day, the person can strain the back, and if it keeps repeating over 3 months, okay, 2 months, 3 months, it's called a cumulative, it's called a musculoskeletal disorder as well. Okay, so the symptoms: pain, joint stiffness, muscle tightness, redness, swelling of the affected areas, numbness, pain and needle sensation, and the skin color changes. Okay, we have another trauma called carpal tunnel syndrome. Carpal is hand. So this is especially for people who are relying on their fingers and hands to do the job. Everybody relies on their hands and fingers, but the overstraining of the fingers, especially those who are involved in computer jobs, yeah, desk jobs, computer jobs, when they keep typing on the keyboard, okay, or people who are doing crafting, okay, handcrafting, art related task, yeah, who use their fingers very frequently. So these kind of people are exposed to something called carpal tunnel syndrome or cumulative trauma disorder. So if you look at it, it's the nerves, okay, it affects the nerves at the wrist. Okay, so the person is consistently applying force, okay, is probably the keyboard is not ergonomically designed, so the person's hand, wrist and fingers are in a non-ergonomic position. So if it continues over time, there will be strain in the nerves, muscles, and eventually the person will start to develop an incident called carpal tunnel syndrome. Carpal is hand, and it is the trauma effect on the hand. So if the person develops such, yeah, you find that the person will have numbness in the hand, tingling feelings, okay, swellings, which can be very troublesome. Yeah. So we have something else called the cumulative trauma disorder. Okay, cumulative trauma disorder or repetitive stress injuries. Okay, so you see, cumulative trauma disorders is a type of illnesses which relates to the cumulative effect of micro traumas. Micro traumas is small traumas. Okay, you may strain your hand a little bit, you may strain your back a little bit, yeah, you may strain your feet a little bit. So a continuous strain of your hand, legs, back over time, okay, that is due to repetitive or static work, forceful exertions or awkward postures can cause cumulative trauma disorders. Okay, example: tendinitis, tenosynovitis, carpal tunnel syndrome, shoulder, neck, back and leg discomforts. Okay, so cumulative trauma disorders or repetitive stress injuries is when you keep repeating the same task over and over again, which is causing injuries. You may end up suffering from um, a musculoskeletal impairment caused by repetitive and straining motions. Cumulative indicates that the injuries develop gradually. Trauma indicates the body injury from mechanical stress, and disorders refer to physical ailments or abnormal conditions. Sign of CTDs: loss of strength, numbness, inflammation in tendons, soreness, achiness in the neck, shoulders, arm and hand. Solution: okay, a sufficient interval of rest time between episodes will reduce the risk of developing CTD of the operators. That's all for today. This is the last lecture and last topic for manufacturing processes. Okay, I'll see you in class later. Thank you.